Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the video. Today we're going to be doing a knockout image with using the Cricut Design Space. So first of all, I needed to choose a font for my background image. It needed to be something bold and thick to create a good contrast when I knock out the cursive word in the center. So I'm just scrolling through all of my fonts that I have installed on my iPad, and I'm looking for a font that fits the theme that I'm going for. So I chose the Rustler font, and now I'm typing the word love. Now I've zoomed in just a little bit. I made it a bit bigger, but then I noticed that I didn't have my aspects locked, so I locked that and then increased the size again. Now I'm going in to choose the font that I want as my cursive that's going to be cut out of my main word. So this word's going to be Starlet, which is my daughter's horse. So I've picked a font, I've typed it, but I wasn't overly happy with the way the letters looked. So I went through and I edited the font and chose another one that I thought looked more fitting with the letters used in the name. So you can see there I've got lots of different fonts installed on my iPad. If you'd like me to show you how I do that, then I'm happy to do another video outlining how I go about doing that. I do have another app installed on my iPad which makes that job a little bit easier, and most of the fonts I've actually purchased or downloaded free from DaFont. So you can see I've picked this very swirly font here with a lovely big cursive S, and what I've done is I've isolated the letters, and now I'm moving them horizontally so that all of the letters join up so that I can weld them together. So you can see here I just select each letter and I move it over closer to the others so that they touch in a nice smooth way. I prefer to use the horizontal and vertical numbers, so that way I know that my letters are all going to remain straight. So then I selected them all and welded them, and now I've dragged them over my background word just to get my sizing right. So you can see the app snaps that in center, both horizontal and vertical. And I've just changed the color of the word so that you can see it a bit better on the background. So then what I've done is I've changed it to a print file instead of a cut file, and now I've saved it so I don't lose my document. So to change the file from a cut file to a print, you select the layers, go over to the side and press the little arrow, and up the top you can choose to cut, write, print. I'm not sure what the third option was. So I've just changed the word Starlet to a print file. Then I've gone to make it, so it's brought up the print file, and then I've just done a screenshot so that you can see the printed version of what that word would be. So that then was saved to my camera roll, and now I'm just cropping out all of the extra parts that I don't need for this image. Now when I've saved that, then I'll just rotate it around so it's the right way. Then I go back to my my app. Then I go to upload image and I select that from the photo library. So I've got my image there. So now I'm going to remove all of the parts that I don't want. So I just press on those parts outside of the red area, and down the bottom you can see you can slide the little slider up so that I don't have to delete all of those lines. I can just change the amount that each removal takes so that those lines disappear. You can see there in the top right hand corner, that's what my file will look like. So now what I've done is I've smoothed the image, which has actually increased the thickness of the lettering, which I think will create a nicer knockout effect. Now I'm saving the image as a cut file. And now I'm just going to import it into my project. So select that, insert, and there it is there. So now I need to resize it, bring it down so it's the same size as the other lettering, and I'm going to change the color of it to white so it's so you can see it on the background. So now this is probably the hardest part of the whole process, is getting that background shadow the right size so that the knockout isn't too close to my lettering. So you can see it's fairly well lined up in the center, but you can see the edges I feel are a little bit too close. So what I've done is I'm actually selecting the bottom right hand corner there, and I'm going to decrease my size a little bit, which shrinks the red lettering, and because the snap mat then will center it on the back on the other image for me, I can see it's still just a touch big, so I'm just going to decrease it in size another couple of little ticks, and now when I drag it to be in the center, I've got a nice even border all the way around. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to drag my red word out of the way. I'm going to place my white word over the top of my background. I'm going to select both of those layers once I have it centered and exactly where I want it. Select both of those layers, and then I'm going to use the slice option. So that slices the one image out of the other. I'm going to drag out the two parts that I don't want, and I'm going to delete them. So now I've got my word love with those parts cut out, and then I drag my red letters back in and save again. So from this point you can change your print file, your print word back to a cut file, and then you just select make it, then you will cut out each part and piece it together. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video useful.